Hello, and welcome to this week's Tech Tuesday, where we're going to be unveiling a new family of professional Bravia displays. My name is John Garmendi, and I oversee Sony's AV Consultant program. I also happen to manage an extremely talented group of sales support engineers. Some say are the backbone of the professional display solutions team. And lastly, I'm also involved in Sony's Alliance Partner program, which we'll also discuss as part of this Tech Tuesday. Now let's get to the presentation. At Infocom 2023, we launched an entirely revamped series of Pro Bravia displays called the L Series. Today, we're excited to show you another new series we just launched on November 2nd. We refer to that as the Easy Series, and we'll have more to follow from our commercialization manager, Joe Drury. He's in charge of our Pro Bravia display category, and in addition, we'll also be joined by Jay Leedy, head of business development for many AV initiatives, but namely, Jay is responsible for helping us to launch our ecosystem of integration partners for Pro Bravia, and Jay is also responsible for DMP, our device management platform that we're going to speak about today as well. So for today's session, we won't be taking questions live, but please feel free to submit your questions via the chat panel, and either Joe or Jay will get back to you shortly. So I'll turn it over to Joe now, and I'll join you back here for the close.
Thanks, John. I'm really excited to talk today. 2023 is an awesome year for Pro Bravia, and today's an awesome time to talk about what those changes are and what we have planned moving forward. So I'm going to go over the agenda first, talking about the Pro Display features as well as the benefits, really looking at the roadmap and the updates for the 2023 models, looking at the basic specifications, common features that you're going to find in a professional Bravia display, as well as what that transition timing looks like as we head towards the end of the year. I'm going to call out a couple of key models and series for the 2023 lineup, as well as introduce a new series, which I'm very excited about. I'm also going to outline our service offerings, our sustainability, as well as our pro mode. And then I'm going to hand it off to Jay, who's going to talk about our solutions with device management platform, as well as our partner integrations that we enjoy in our ecosystem. So to start off, really, where do you find Sony Pro Bravia? We're ubiquitous in the industry. In the markets, corporate, education, government, healthcare, retail, transportation, entertainment, faith. We have an application for anything inside any of those segments, and we're very excited in how we can service those segments. In addition to that, we're also found in all sorts of applications, whether it's collaboration, digital signage, hybrid teaching, hybrid working, presentation, remote monitoring, and so on. Over the last couple of years, we found that we need to be dynamic in how we work, and we're very excited that our portfolio supports this dynamic way of working inside this environment. And then, this is a snapshot really of what is a Pro Bravia. So a Pro Bravia is a display with a very powerful system on a chip that's supported by Android with Apple AirPlay, Chromecast, HTML5 support, with powerful 4K HDR processing capabilities, flexible IP control, and really all of this is our ability to work hand in hand with all of our partners and have that compatibility for any of the operations that are needed with the display in the industry. Really, in addition to this as well, is our deep black non-glare coating, which is found on the BZ40L series, which I'll talk about later. So let's get into the large display solutions specifically for 2023. So really, why Pro Bravia? Pro Bravia, we stand behind everything that we put into the market. We stand by that with our standard warranty. That standard warranty is actually an advanced replacement warranty. The BZ50L series and the BZ40L series come with a standard 5-year advanced replacement warranty, whereas the 35L and the 30L series come with a 3-year standard advanced replacement warranty. When compared to a consumer TV, that's typically a 1-year standard warranty, and those are typically not, that warranty is not serviced if in a professional setting. Um, all of our BZ series professional displays are tested and rated for 24/7 operation in landscape, portrait, and tilt. And all of our professional Bravias come with Pro Mode, which provides easy configuration and operation for all of our displays in the commercial environment. These settings can be saved and used for future use, and the ports can be locked, allowing you to use the displays in all sorts of different environments. So now an overview of what the BZL 2023 lineup looks like. Starting from the top working down, we have the BZ50L, what we call our flagship series. This is a 98-inch model with 798 nits of brightness, and again, this comes with a 5-year standard advanced replacement warranty. Then we have the BZ40L series, which is our deep black non-glare series. This series provides 47% haze rating with no image degradation. It's at 700 nits of brightness, coming in sizes 55, 65, 75, and 85 inches. And again, this also is supported with a 5-year standard advanced replacement warranty. Then we have the BZ35L series, which is 550 nits. Again, the same sizes as the 40L, 55, 65, 75, and 85 inch, with a 3-year standard advanced replacement warranty. All of the 35L and the 30L series, which I'll talk about in just a second, they all have the offering of a 2-year extended warranty, which would bring the total warranty timeline to 5 years. And then we have the BZ30L series, which is at 440 nits. If you include the carryover, the 32 BZ30J, the BZ30 series is going to be 32, 43, 50, 55, 65, 75, 85, and 98 inches. So this is a very complete series. If you have a project that you need a lot of different sizes, but the spec for brightness and picture quality and so on is to be consistent, this is a very good series for you to consider. So for the BZ50L series, looking at it more closely, like I mentioned before, this is our flagship series, and this was really designed for very immersive imagery and for human vision, really seeing the picture for how it was designed to be. This comes in at 780 nits of brightness with extremely vivid color, contrast, and a huge viewing angle. This is supported with XR color, clarity, motion, and contrast for incredibly realistic textures, details, and movement. This lives within our Pro Mode family, the Pro Mode environment, so it's very easy to use and to manipulate for your specific needs. Now for the BZ40L series, this is a series that we're all really very excited about, and this is really our very premium segment. It's extremely bright. It's a 4K display at 700 nits. We have a Sony proprietary solution to having a display in a high ambient lighting environment that's unique for the industry. And this panel treatment is called the deep black non-glare coating. And this has a 47% anti-glare treatment as well as an anti-reflection treatment. Again, this is inside our Pro Mode architecture. So controlling them and having the exact picture setting that you want for those displays is very straightforward and simple. Moving to the BZ35L series, again, a very strong picture quality, essentially without the deep black non-glare. These displays come with a 550 nit brightness, and this was designed for very bright, very acute pictures for round-the-clock operation. and very flexible depending on your needs. And then for the BZ30L series, again, this is another 24/7, as all the BZL series are, display with very high reliability, supporting landscape, portrait, tilt, and multi-display modes. This is supported with Sony's X1 HDR processor with 440 nits. And as mentioned before, um, this series, including the 32-inch carryover, covers sizes all the way from 32 inches through 98 inches. So now a little bit about our roadmap, and really how we got here and where we're going. So if we look at what the series looked like before 2023, you'll see that we had a 100-inch display. It was called the FW100 BZ40J. This is now transitioning to the 98 BZ50L flagship model that we have. Below that, you'll see that we have the BZ40L series, which is our premium non-glare series. This is an entirely new series that doesn't have its roots in a series before that. Even though they both share 40, the 40L is new and unique for Sony. Where the BZ40H moves to is actually the BZ35L series, which is shown here. And then below, the BZ30J series moves to the BZ30L series. In addition to that transition, and newly announced, we now have the EZ20L series. This is also a brand new series that we haven't had before, and this is going to be our first professional light series, and we're very excited about having a new entry to target a brand new entry-level series and segment for us. So let's go over real quick some of the updates for the 2023 models, as well as transition timing. So if we looked at the 2023 spec comparison, and really, this is best looked at as a step-up chart for all the different series. It's best to start on the left with the EZ20L series, which is the new series, brand new in November. And so at the very top, you're going to see the sizes, the panel types, the brightness. One of the clear stories as you move up in the series is going to be the brightness increases for every series you go up. Of course, on haze, it can also be called anti-glare. You'll find in that next row, that's where the BZ40L really differentiates itself in the portfolio, moving from anywhere from 1 to 3% anti-glare or haze. The BZ40L has the 47%. Another notable call out, the EZ20L is going to have what's called the 4K processor X1, where the 30L through the 40L will have the X1 HDR. Both of the 98-inch displays, the 98BZ30L and the 98BZ50L, have the XR HDR processor, whereas both the 98BZ30L and the 98BZ50L will both also have local dimming. Another interesting notable call out as we look at the step-up chart is as we move from the BZ30L to the BZ35L series, we're going to be doubling the internal storage, moving from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes. So it's going to give you more interoperability with more apps and more storage for content. And so you can really use the displays more for how you need them. All of our series from the EZ20L up through the BZ50L will all support RS-232, as well as simple IP functionality. The only series that we're going to have where the logo position is going to be on the front is going to be our EZ20L series. All of the rest have it on the side. And the EZ20L is the only series that we have with 16:7 operation, whereas the rest of the BZ professional lineup is going to be 24/7. The other interesting call out here as well is all of the Pro Bravias come with a 3-year advanced replacement warranty, whereas the BZ40L and the BZ50L will come with a 5-year advanced replacement warranty as standard. So to kind of recap, what comes with a professional Bravia display, a BZ series in particular, so the 30 through 50, um, is really encapsulated on this slide. One of the big things for 2023 is that we wanted a common chassis design. So between a 30, a 35L, a 40L, a 50L, they're all going to have the same chassis. So it's going to have a very uniform look as you look across the series. And it's also going to have the exact same interface. So if you buy a 30L and a 40L, you're going to be able to navigate the system as well as pro mode and all of that different type of functionality the exact same way. All of the BZ30L through 40L will come with a VESA centering mount, which is an adjuster that will move the VESA holes and make them center to the display. And also new for 2023 is none of the displays are going to come with the table stand in the package, but they will be optional as accessories to purchase for 43-inch, 50-inch, and then 55 and 65-inch. So 3 different SKUs. As far as the software firmware offerings of the professional Bravia displays, all of them come with a very powerful system on a chip smart platform, the Android TV compatibility, Pro Mode, IP and serial control, variable audio, analog audio out, multi-display and embedded applications, Wi-Fi, and then of course our robust partnerships that we have that Jay will talk about here in a little bit. Here's the transition for 2023, and as you can see, this orange reddish color, these are not available for that month. However, green is when it's available. So at the very top, you can see the 98BZ50L. We expect that to be available right now in December, whereas the 40L series were all available in July, and the BZ30L series, they're all available as of right now, as well as the EZ20L series. Where there's a little bit of timing that needs to be noted is really with the BZ35L series. The expectation is that the 55 BZ35L right now is going to be available starting in December, whereas the 75 and 85-inch BZ35Ls, those will be available starting in January. So now on to specific features and calling out specific models unique and special for 2023. So here's, these are special abilities that are really ubiquitous across the Pro Bravia lineup, and that's going to be screen mirroring support, both with Google Cast as well as Apple AirPlay, as well as soft AP support, meaning that the Bravia software enables a Wi-Fi access point. So, for example, in a guest room, a Wi-Fi router would not be necessary. In addition to this, all of the Pro Bravias allow access to Pro settings and Pro mode. This capability allows the end user the ability to make changes to all of the displays that give it certain functionality that's very unique and special for a professional display, unlike a TV. And it's actually quite easy to navigate through that. Here you can see the web control user interface, and at the top, here's where we talk about the functionality, and this allows you to control and set up the display remotely from your browser. This must be used in a secure network, and how it's used is once the Bravia web control user interface is installed from the startup services in the Pro settings mode, you connect your PC or mobile device to the same network as that display, and then you set the admin password. You go to this URL that's located here, and then you put in your username and password. By doing this, it's possible to easily manage and operate the displays at a remote location. So this is outlining additional functionality that's found in our Sony Pro Bravias in the 2023 lineup. In addition to that, as many of you know, we are moving on, sadly, from our 100-inch, and we're moving to our 98-inch models. We are moving from 100-inch to 298 inches. So we are excited about that. In addition to that, we've taken a lot of feedback from the channel as to how to better handle these ultra large displays. One way that we've done that is we've reduced the weight by 22%, which is huge. And it's going to make mounting these displays a lot easier. We've also reduced the bezel width by 28%, and we've moved the handles at the bottom of the display from a vertical configuration to a horizontal configuration, allowing the movement of these displays to be a lot easier. In addition to this, I want to spend a little bit of time to briefly cover the BZ40L deep black non-glare coating with low reflection. At the very top left, you can see what is a typical display, typically found, for example, in our current Pro Bravia lineup. What you're going to see is you're going to see glare and you're going to see reflection in this situation. Traditionally, the industry has addressed this with providing a what's called a high haze series, and what this does is this addresses the glare with typically 24 to 26% anti-glare treatment. The way that this is accomplished is by essentially sanding the panel, and what this does is it causes the light to bounce in many different directions as opposed to directly back at the viewer, creating a dissipation of glare. However, this also comes at the degradation of color and contrast because that panel also needs the light and the image that comes from behind it. So this application of anti-glare comes at a cost. At the bottom left shows what a low reflection would be, and this is what's seen in very high-end consumer Bravia TVs, where the contrast is very high, the reflection is removed, however, there is still glare. The deep black non-glare approaches this with a very outside-the-box way of addressing this by creating a new and unique panel treatment that provides anti-glare without the degradation of color and contrast, while also providing an anti-reflection experience. So here you can see what a typical high haze model looks like on the very left. What you're seeing is that degradation of color as well as contrast, where you're losing that blue at the top, and it's whited out very much. And this is really because of that treatment that's done to essentially disperse that video signal. A lower haze Bravia, which is shown in the middle, which is a more typical Pro Bravia display, has all of the color and the contrast, but you can see at the bottom of that image that there is reflection of the desk beneath it. However, on the deep black non-glare, this new BZ40L series in the very right picture, you can see that you're getting all of the color and the contrast with no reflection or glare to really speak of in that image. And please, reach out to your Sony account managers. This is really a series that needs to be experienced in order to truly appreciate what it is. As you can tell by these images, this series was really meant to address a high demand environment of very high ambient lighting situations. Here at the left, we're showing an example of signage inside an airport, and in the right, we're showing a corporate environment, where there's floor to ceiling windows, in environments where the display and the environment that the display is going to be in is not a consideration. Our goal with the BZ40L is to provide a display specifically for these environments where we have an environment that will operate seamlessly in an environment not built for a display. Now to get into the exciting new introduction, new for November, is the EZ20L series. This is a brand new series for Pro Bravia. This allows us to address a completely new segment that's going to be underneath what our BZ30 series is. Our goal in providing this was to have a series that's professional light, So instead of having 24/7 operation, it's 16/7. Instead of having the 440 nit brightness that the BZ30 has, it's at 350 nit brightness. Instead of having full simple IP control or full pro mode control, the functionality is reduced for both of those that I'll go over in the next couple slides. But there's still that functionality. And so this EZ20L series is going to allow us to provide a professional display at a very entry level series, entry level pricing, and it's really going to play a very large role in how this segment of the industry is addressed. So as I mentioned before, it's going to have a simple pro settings as well as a quick signage app for Android. Of course, it's still going to have Chromecast and AirPlay. It's going to have simple IP control. That's going to be a little limited, but it's also going to come with RS-232C support, which is very big for this segment as well. It's going to support a very broad range of sizes, all the way from 43 inches through 85 inches, so almost as robust as the BZ30L series, 16/7 operation at 350 nits. And this comes with the 4K processor X1, which is still going to be, it's still going to support HDR content, and it's still going to upscale content as you need it. But it's not quite as robust of a processor as what is on the BZ series processors. Here's a list of the pro settings that are found, and here you can see what the light settings of the EZ20 are and what we support with this EZ20 series. As you can see, it's not everything that's available, but it's really considered the highlight reel of the most used functions. So it's still a very robust platform for these pro settings, but it's not the full portfolio of everything that we offer in a typical pro mode suite. Please reach out to your account manager to get this snapshot if you need a more technical reference as to what's supported with the EZ20 and, of course, the BZ series. And here's a little bit more direct. This is a little bit more of a breakout as to what that capability is for the EZ20 and really how it's used. Again, please use your account managers in getting this reference material if you need to know the technical aspects of what this EZ20 capability for Pro Mode is. Now on to the service offerings. So Pro Bravia is supported by a lot of different offerings that make sure that the end user is getting the entire experience and the support that they need. So as mentioned earlier during this Tech Tuesday, I went over that all Pro Bravias come with the 3-year warranties as standard, except for the BZ40 and the BZ50L, as mentioned earlier. All of the Pro Bravia series, such as the BZ30 and the BZ35L that come with this 3-year warranty, will have 2-year extended warranties as options. Those are SKUs by themselves, and they can be purchased to augment those warranties to a 5-year. It's a notable call out that all of the Pro Bravia warranties are advanced replacement warranties, which means that should you happen to have a Pro Bravia that becomes defective, as opposed to replacing it on site, we will just send you a new Pro Bravia, making sure that the end user's experience is seamless and that no time is spent worrying about space or having a display repaired. It's just as simple as just getting a new one. In addition to this, we also offer another service offering, which is white glove service. This gives us the ability to further support the advanced replacement warranty by having a technician arrive at the location of the display, take the defective display down, and mount the new display from the advanced replacement warranty. So from beginning to end, it's an entirely seamless process for service where the end user doesn't need to think about their Pro Bravia or its reliability. All of that is covered. And now on to sustainability, something very near and dear to Sony Electronics, Sony Pro Bravia's heart. So as an overview, we have adopted a Sony proprietary technology of recycling, and this is called Sorplas. This technology is a recycled plastic that has a higher recycling rate than what is traditionally found in recycled plastic. In addition to this, we also support Energy Star, and compliance with that showcases how much emphasis we put into the energy saving efforts that we put into our displays. In addition to this, we've also implemented a less ink solution with our packaging, as well as what I mentioned before. We are no longer including table stands for any of the ProBravia displays. Lastly, we've implemented an eco dashboard that allows the end user to understand better what sustainability measures they are making when they make the choices to, for example, limit the brightness on their display or to turn off at the end of the day. So this gives them really kind of a graphical user interface to allow them to see how their changes affect their sustainability standing. And here is that eco dashboard more closely zoomed in here. So you can see that it's a setup when you go and you have the ProBravia. This gives you functionality choices ranging anywhere from power saving, light sensor, idle display power off, no signal power off. And as you can see in the image, there's a little tree with a lot of leaves on it. As you make choices that have ramifications to using more power, the leaves go away, and it's just a very nice way to see what your footprint looks like as you make those changes. In addition, here are the accessories that I had referred to earlier. So again, none of the table stands are going to be in the packaging with any of the 2023 new models. If you need to purchase the table stands for your displays, here's the SKU name on the left of the table for what size that display would fit. So for example, the ST1L will fit any of the 43-inch displays, the ST2L will fit the 50-inch, and the ST3L will fit the 55 and the 65-inch. If you need a table stand for 75-inch or 85-inch, you'll have to work with a third-party provider in order to find a stand that's appropriate for the display that you're trying to put on a table. And lastly, here, the last item that I want to go over is our carbon footprint reduction based on packaging alone. So as you can see from previous years, we have had a lot more ink that's been on the packaging. Moving forward, we really just want the bare minimum on the packaging, and we really don't feel like that usage of ink is spent well. So we want to use less, and we want the end users and our channel partners to feel good about purchasing ProBravias and having less of a footprint on the planet Earth. And now I'm going to hand it off to Jay to talk about our solutions.
Thanks, Joe. A couple things I wanted to cover today. The probably most important and significant announcement that we have, which will officially launch in a couple of months, really next month, I think, is what we're looking at, is what we are calling our device management platform, or DMP. This is a fully cloud-based solution that allows for you to remotely manage these devices, all ProBravia devices. Currently in the portfolio, only ProBravia is supported. But this is, essentially a tool that will address concerns where InfoSec comes into play for smart displays and devices with compute, and allows for a range of features to be managed remotely through this platform, including setting brightness, setting volume, locking out or turning on the IR sensor for the remote control. It also allows for you to change the orientation of the display from landscape to portrait flipped to landscape flipped, and also allows you to manage applications. So the applications I'll get into in a minute as far as what the extent of our supported applications are. But I did want to point out that as Joe went through our ProBravia UI tool, that is a tool that, although it is really powerful and offers a lot of capability, it requires you to be immediately on that local network in order to be able to use that tool. The device management platform is a cloud-based solution that allows remote network operations and managed service providers to remotely configure and manage these devices without having to be in the facility. That's a huge benefit, both in terms of cost savings and minimizing the amount of time that a technician might need to be on site. Also preventing potentially even having to put a technician on site. So in terms of cost savings and operating these solutions remotely, it's a huge step forward for Sony. Joe also mentioned our Pro Mode capabilities. As I already mentioned, some of those Pro Mode capabilities are covered in the DMP. We have a number of additional features that we are working to incorporate through an API cloud that as we develop our roadmap and get market feedback and ultimately kind of understand what's a priority for our customers, that will inform priorities and how we ultimately develop this tool to make it even more valuable for our customers. This is a SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO 27001 compliant solution, which is going to be really important for anybody that has a InfoSec engagement and has a information security team tied to decision making and specification of devices. So please bear that in mind. And it's really flexible. So there's a lot of capability, including being able to take screenshots, being able to upload photos and the actual GPS location of a device or a group of devices so that a technician has even more at their fingertips before they make a field call, or a remote technician has more information to be able to make the best possible decisions remotely. So more to come on this product. We're really excited. We've been teasing this for a while. If you visited our booth at Infocom or some of the other AV tech showcases that we've had in the late summer and through this fall, you've already seen it in person, but we're excited to get it into our customers and our resellers' hands. Next, I want to talk about our partner network. And so the DMP is really something that would be used in concert with a range of third-party applications or apps. We're an Android TV-based operating system, which means that we have the benefit of a lot of flexibility in being able to support a wide range of solutions that can run natively on our system on chip. And effectively what that means is that we've been very quietly but steadily building out a very robust partner ecosystem that addresses a range of needs. We, for some time now, have had AV control integrations for Crestron Connected, Crestron XIO. We've recently certified QSYS and the QSC product. We've also recently certified Aurora and the Reax engine, which can be basically used in concert with our Android operating system to effectively turn the ProBravia device into a control hub for Reax and the Aurora AV control system. So that's really cool. Device management, as I just mentioned, and we are working to onboard a range of additional device management options in coming months. We also have, as you can see in the slide here, a very extensive list of digital signage partners. So it really kind of runs the gamut in terms of, which types of market verticals your projects might need Sony or consider Sony for, and how we can plug in and ultimately support those projects with the right solution. And that can include IPTV solutions. We have Aura Futures rather, that has been certified for some time, along with video, formerly known as InfoValue. And we're working on a number of others in the background to bring forward enterprise class IPTV and employee communications platforms that are designed for that market, designed for Stadia, and distributed sites where latency is a concern. We also have UC and collaboration integrations, as well as workspace management. So as you can see here, this is actually, believe it or not, a snapshot of really not the tip of the iceberg necessarily, but in terms of what we have in backlog and all the activity going on to support a range of companies allowing their technology to run on ours. It's probably about half of the number of companies that we're engaged with right now. So this has been really exciting for us, and it's kind of helped us move into allowing for a very robust alliance partner program. Not every single company that is reflected here kind of falls into that partner status. We are trying to, wherever possible, be able to say yes to opportunities. And as we do that, and as we form relationships with companies, we are also forming deeper, more strategic relationships with a handful of select partners that are really meaningful to our reseller community, as well as to the customers that they serve. So that's a much more curated list. This list, along with our alliance partner overview, can be found at Sony's alliance partner website that can be found at any of the hyperlinks at the bottom of pro.sony. I'm going to hand it back over to John, and thank you so much for your time.
All right. That was a fantastic presentation by both Joe and Jay. A reminder, please, any questions, go ahead and submit. And we want to thank you for your time today. But be sure to tune in next time, mark your calendars, where we're going to have another one of our RV on AV panels, and we'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek into Sony's LDI and DSE show strategy, as well as a deep dive into our newest addition to the DV LED lineup called Verona. Lastly, you may or may not be aware, but Sony is currently in the middle of a 10-city roadshow. Next up will be Houston, this week on Thursday, November 9th. You can visit pro.sony/AV Roadshow for more information and a link to register. So I'll leave you with a little sneak peek of the roadshow now, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Switch it.